Hi, Danielle. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Great. Congrats on your new series, The Tourist. I'm enjoying all of the suspense and drama so far.
Great.
So yeah. So Helen Chambers is so sweet, and she's someone that you could see as a good friend. What can you tell us about her and her life as this officer and this responsibility of, investigating this new victim who's lost his memory?
I think Helen is a really fun character because she is someone that the audience can relate to. And I think that, when you take the audience on such a wild ride like we do in this series, it's nice to kind of have a grounding point and a character that you can trust, that is kind of in it with you. And I think that Helen really does kind of mirror what the audience is mirroring as well. Like she knows what she knows, and that's kind of all the audience knows as well. And then everything else you're figuring out along the way. And same with Jamie's character. You're really, as he's discovering, the audience is discovering. We're kind of all on this journey of like figuring out what is happening because no one's really sure. So it's nice to kind of have a character that you can trust, which is fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And she comes off, very naive. Does she evolve as the series unfolds? Is there anything you could tease about that?
Yeah, I think the story is very much about Helen finding her voice and her confidence along this journey as well. It's nice to kind of get to see a little bit of her personal life early on so that you get to understand where she's at. And as the series continues, you get to see where she goes with that. And it's nice to kind of see like a full spectrum of emotion and a character that really goes on a journey and ends up somewhere else.
Yeah. And so you mentioned that the audience can relate to her character. Do you see a little bit of yourself in Helen at all, or any similarities?
I think there are definitely things that I can relate to with her. Yeah, it wasn't hard to find out who she was, I guess. Sometimes it's really hard to lock into a character at all. She definitely wasn't. We are definitely different. She's, just this like kind of ultimate optimist. And yeah, she kind of comes across as a little naive. I think I'm much more of like a realist. I kind of evaluate every side of a situation before I go into it or before I make it a judgment or opinion, where she's like, oh, well, let's hope for the best and we'll kind of see how it goes.
Yeah.
But I also love that. That's really fun to play. And it also creates some interesting drama dynamics on screen with that attitude. So
Yeah. And the series is tackling issues of, body positivity and also relationship abuse that we're seeing kind of play out in the first three episodes that I've seen. What are your thoughts on how the show's handling that? And, are you enjoying that, it's bringing up these sensitive subjects?
yeah, I actually love how the show handled it. That was kind of one of the first things that I spoke about with Jack and Harry, the writers. I loved how they tackled body image. It's really mostly just tackled in one scene. You understand exactly where Helen is at. And that is kind of lost in a way that most people feel. It's like, I feel like I should be doing this, but I also feel like I should do this. And I feel like I'm wrong if I do this. And so then I turn to this and what's the answer? And it's like, there isn't. I think a lot of it is just finding what works for you. Like, who are you? What makes you happy? What makes you feel confident? And I think that we kind of see that as the series evolves. She finds her voice, and we get to see that. And we get to see that this doesn't overcome her. Like, this is just one aspect of her life. It is not all of her. And I think that's really important. A lot of the time we focus on these issues and it's like, that is all there is to a person. That is not even remotely true. And so I like that it's just one aspect and we get to see how she lives her life with that one aspect being a part of it. And then I think with the emotional abuse, I think that a lot of people have been in situations like that. And I think when you're on the outside, you're like, how did you end up there? How are you in this? How do you not see? But you don't, you know what I mean? Like, you're locked in, and people are not all good or bad. I think that Ethan as a character is not all good or bad. He's just completely self-absorbed, which makes him a really emotionally abusive partner.
Mm.
But it's hard to see that once you're already in it. Like, she's been in a relationship with him for 5 years. People change. It can become really toxic. And I think that's exactly what happened. And I like that it represents that, because I think from an outside perspective, it's like, what are you doing? But I think that that's how we feel in life. And people have to come out of it on their own. They have to find their own voice and come out. So it was nice to get to see that happen. And I think you'll be happy if you continue how that all ends up.
Well, Danielle, thank you so much. It was a pleasure chatting, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the series. Take care.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Bye.
Bye-bye.